Hello everyone, I'm here today to share with you my 2015 setup in the Midori Travelers Notebook. This is the first time I've ever used the Midori as my main planner. I've always used a ring planner, but the more I watch the YouTube videos and pictures on Instagram and Facebook, the more I really just fell in love with the Midori and how it was being used as a main planner. I've had the Midori for a few months now, mostly using it as a creative outlet with journaling, sketching, that kind of stuff. But I really just decided for 2015 to give it a try as my main planner. So I'm going to share that setup with you right now, and let's just get started. So I have a original Midori, so there's just one elastic. I do have 4 books in here, a craft folder, and the Midori zip pocket. So I kind of do have a lot. It's pretty stuffed, but it closes well. There's a little bit of a hangover. It doesn't really bother me too bad. The back has a little bit of a hangover too. Again, it just doesn't bother me too bad. I do have a couple little charms on the bookmark that helps to hold that bookmark down, keep it from getting lost up in the pages. It's a little to-do list and a little clock. And I actually got that idea from Erin Joy here on YouTube, or Hobby Lane if you follow her on Instagram. I thought that was a really good idea for a planner. So I just searched Etsy, found those, and attached those. So the first thing in here is the zip pocket. The zipper part of the pocket is actually in the back, and it has just several sticky notes, different sticky flags, post-it arrows, that kind of thing in there. The front of it, I've got a Amy Tangerine piece of scrapbook paper, pretty much using this as like a dashboard. Right now I just have a list on there, some things I need from Walmart. Got some Hobonichi stencils in there, some little sticky notes from the Container Store, and some transparent arrows that came from Barnes & Noble. In the back, I've got some more transparent arrows or stickies. Those came from the Dollar Tree several months ago, actually. Some note sheets, and then this clear calendar that I actually got as a little bonus from an order I purchased from Happy Scrappy, I believe. So my first book is my list booklet. First page in my list book is my 2015 goals. I thought that was very appropriate to put at the front of this book. Since I'm starting this fresh for 2015, I do have some goals I've set for myself for the year, so I just wanted to list those out there. My next list is Meals We Love. I do anticipate filling probably the front and back of this. So easy to do your menu planning when you have a list of your favorite meals. You don't have much thinking to do, just grab your list and plug them in. The next list I've got here is must-haves. This is a list that I have kept in my planner for quite some time now. Things that I always want to keep in the house. Things like salt, pepper, butter, milk. Those things that when I'm making a grocery list, I just want to double check to make sure that I've got these things in the house. And if I'm out of them, then they obviously go on my grocery list. I even put non-food items on here like shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, those kinds of things. My next list is my routines, my morning, afternoon, evening routines. I have certain things that I like to get done. In the morning, I like to get done all of my main daily chores, starting the laundry, seeing if I need to take any meat out for dinner, tidying up the kitchen, loading the dishwasher, that kind of thing. And then the same thing in the afternoon. Assuming I have all this done, I usually am homeschooling my daughter or tackling some kind of a organizational project or deep cleaning a room, something like that. I have a weekend routine that I need to get done as well. Menu planning, grocery shopping, preparing, like I said, a homeschool, so preparing school for the following week. I have a weekly and monthly to-do list, things I like to get done weekly or monthly, like wash our bedding. It's not something I do every day, but I like to get it done every week. those are the only lists I have in there right now. I do have a address sheet, Kate Spade address sheet tipped in from my previous planner. I have a craft folder that I made here, and I've just got some Martha Stewart dewdrops, some Market Dots, some stickers that I purchased off of Etsy, and I'll link her store down below. These are some little mini sticky notes, and I'll link that shop down below as well. My next book is my calendar. The first thing I have in here is a DIYFish year pullout. On here, I like to track things and how often I purchase certain items. Toilet paper, cat food, fabric softener, those kinds of things. I like to look throughout the year and see how often I purchase those things. So I use this pullout for that. My next thing is my month calendar. This is also a DIYFish. It has the monthly chart on the back, and back here I like to track certain household chores that I do. I like to make sure that I'm doing journaling each day, doing my hobonichi every day, that I'm tracking my food, weight, that kind of thing. So I just like to check those off. Just helps me to stay accountable for that. Then I'm going into my weekly planner. This is this week. And what I'm using, I'll show you a blank one. I'm using a day on one page with the note sheet on the side. This is actually a PDF file that I purchased off of Etsy. Very inexpensive, like $2.50 I think. It's an undated. You print it out as many times as you want. Really super easy, and I am absolutely loving this setup. So like I said, this is this week. Back here, I used some Project Life cards, some stickies. I just used miscellaneous washi tape. I don't color code here. The only place I do color code is on my monthly charts. This just kind of make notes over here, things I want to get done. I'm just really loving this. I use a little magnet clip to hold the pages together. This is last week's. Again, a little sticky note here. So I am absolutely loving this setup. The same Etsy seller that I purchased this from, I also purchased the pages, this grid paper that I used for my list book. So I just purchased this from her, printed it out as many times as I wanted, and made my own book out of it. Behind that, I have another year pullout. This is actually something I created and is for sale in my Etsy store, and I'll link that down below as well. I use this to track my husband's migraines is the blue, and then also menstrual cycles is for the red, and so that's what I use that for. This monthly calendar part and the weeks is actually a separate booklet that goes in the center of these year calendars. You can see that this actually is a separate booklet that's stapled together, and at the end of January I will pull that out and put in February's. If you want a more in-depth video as to how I do that, just comment down below and I can do another video to show you how I actually do that. I basically like tip in the monthly page to the back of these weeks, if that makes sense. So then there's the other side of the craft folder with some more stickers in there. And then this is my bullet journal, the index to my bullet journal. And then going into, I started this on January 1st. Never thought that a bullet journal would be for me, ever. I wasn't interested, didn't think I needed it, until I watched a video on YouTube. And I will link that video down below. I believe it was called Bullet Journaling 101. Awesome, phenomenal video. She explains it so well that I was sold. The instant that I watched the video, I thought, I have to have this. I have to implement this in my life. This will make my life so much easier. So I instantly, again, printed out those grid papers that I had purchased from Etsy, made my own booklet, and immediately on January 1st started using it. So like I said, I'm loving it, filling up the pages. I use a different color for each day just to kind of visually separate the days for me. But it is really helping me to get a lot more done. It's a brain dump for me. I can just get everything out of my head. And so things aren't just swimming around in there taking up space, I guess. I don't know. It just is really helping a lot. So, and then I just have all the blank sheets held together with my ollie clip. The last booklet in here is my future planning, or planning ahead type of calendar sheets, basically. So these I printed off from Crusade on Etsy, and I'll link her down below as well. This again was a pretty inexpensive thing. They go for each month. You can see all the months listed over here. So you just print out as many as you need. They're undated. You fill them in yourself. So I just printed off what I needed and made them into a booklet. I did use some month stickers just to kind of help signify, just to really visually see it when I first turn to it. And I've got the whole year here because I only have the current month back here with my weeks. So back here is where I have all of my future planning. So if something comes up for June, hey, we're having a family reunion in June, I can go ahead, open this up, and mark it down, even though I don't have June back here in my weeks yet. So, like I said, again, a super cheap download that you can get. Then I just have a few little Project Life cards throughout with some sayings and things on them, just to kind of keep everything inspirational, keep me motivated in certain areas. So, and then the back I showed you was the zip pocket with mostly just sticky notes and sticky flags in it. If you have any questions or comments about anything you saw or want to know more about, more in depth about anything, please leave that down below. If you want me to go through how I attached this DIYFish calendar to these weekly pages and made it into its own separate booklet, just let me know that as well. I'd be glad to do a video showing more closely, more up close and in depth as to how I put that together. So, you know, find me on Facebook. I'm in most of the planning groups. Follow me on Instagram. I'll leave that down below as well. And I will try to get everything linked that I talked about, whether it be on Etsy or YouTube videos or anything like that. I'll try and get all that linked down below. If I inadvertently leave something out and you want to know about something, just comment on it and I will go ahead and post that link. Hope you enjoyed seeing my 2015 setup in the Midori Travelers Notebook. I hope you were inspired, and I'd love to see what you guys are doing for 2015. Let me know. Shoot me a link to your video. Love to see it, or pictures, whatever you have. Follow me on Instagram. I'd love to follow all of you guys as well. Talk to you later. Thanks.